So what if I told you that one quarter in 2026 almost matched the entire venture capital market of 2025? Yeah, you heard that right. In just the first 3 months of 2026, investors poured a mind-blowing $300 billion into startups, which is the largest quarter for venture investment ever recorded. Here's the wildest part. 80% of that money went straight into AI. You guessed it. Today, we're breaking down the AI investment explosion that's reshaping the entire tech economy. So let's start with the headline. According to Crunchbase data, $300 billion was invested globally across 6,000 startups, 150% growth year over year. To put that into perspective, Q1 2026 alone equals almost 70% of all venture capital invested in 2025. That means in just 3 months, startups raised nearly as much money as they did in an entire year. And the reason is simple: artificial intelligence. AI didn't just lead funding, it completely dominated it. Out of the $300 billion invested, $242 billion went into AI companies. That's 80% of all global venture funding. Most of that capital went to just 4 massive deals. OpenAI raised $122 billion. Anthropic raised $30 billion, and xAI raised $20 billion. Lastly, Waymo raised $16 billion. So together, those 4 companies alone pulled in $188 billion. That's 65% of all venture capital in the entire quarter. So in other words, the AI race has officially become a capital arms race. So when that much money floods the market, valuations skyrocket. Crunchbase reports that the unicorn board added $900 billion in value in a single quarter. That's the largest valuation jump ever recorded. It's not just software this time. Unlike the cloud boom or the mobile app era, this cycle is funding real-world infrastructure. So investments are flowing into AI data centers, robotics, semiconductors, autonomous vehicles, defense technology, manufacturing. This is AI infrastructure at planetary scale. So another major trend is that the US is taking the lion's share. American startups raised $250 billion. So that's 83% of all global venture funding. So for comparison, China raised about $16 billion, and the UK raised about $7.4 billion. So right now, the AI capital war is heavily centered in the United States. Most of that money is flowing into late-stage companies. So late-stage venture funding hit $246 billion. That's a 205% increase year over year. And just 158 companies raising rounds over $100 million captured $235 billion of that. Meaning investors are doubling down on companies already leading the AI race. But early startups aren't being left out. Early stage funding reached $41 billion, so that's 41% higher than last year. Seed funding also grew, so $12 billion total, 31% increase year over year. Although interestingly, there were fewer deals but bigger checks. So investors are becoming more selective, but more aggressive when they find a winner. So now here's the strange part. So even with the record venture investment, the IPO market is still pretty slow. Only 21 venture-backed companies exited above $1 billion globally this quarter, and most of those were actually in Asia. Meanwhile, the US stock market has been dealing with a tech sell-off, which has slowed new listings. But mergers and acquisitions, those are heating up. Startup M&A hit $56 billion in exits, the third biggest quarter since 2022. Here's the real story underneath all of this. So there are now hundreds of startups sitting on massive amounts of private capital, and eventually those investors want liquidity. They need exits, which means the pressure is building for IPO markets to reopen in 2026. And when that happens, we could see one of the largest waves of tech IPOs in history. So here's the big picture. $300 billion invested in one quarter. AI captured 80% of the funding. 4 companies absorbed most of the capital. Startup valuations surged by 900 billion, and the IPO pressure is building. The AI economy isn't just growing, it's becoming the most capital-intensive technology race the world has ever seen. And we're only 3 months into 2026. Okay, that's it for today. If you want to stay ahead of the AI revolution and technology trends, including the companies shaping the future, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Daily News, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.